Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Today's video is brought to you by man flu, so I apologise for my croaky voice, my coughing, spluttering if I do any, and if I lose my voice throughout today's video. Now they go up, they go down, they go left, they go right, they go wherever they damn well please. We are of course talking about precious metal prices and the wonderful roller coaster that we are all on when we invest in silver, gold, platinum, whatever precious metal it might be. Now we're not going to talk today about the reasons for the volatility within these precious metal markets. That's a very well documented subject and probably a topic in its own right for another video. Instead, we're going to talk today about the tips, hints and tricks and strategies that I have employed over this last couple of years of buying precious metals that help, to a certain extent anyway, mitigate some of those larger price fluctuations. They help protect you as a buyer, and also some of the ways that one can cope with these price fluctuations, because it's one of the biggest barriers for new stackers, this fear of losing lots of money very quickly within precious metals. But it's also that volatility which entices a lot of people to come in because they think they can make an awful lot of money. And my best piece of advice, if there is anything in this video to take away, is just be careful with any precious metal investment. Now, on that subject of advice, today's video is just meant for entertainment and education purposes. It's not a financial advice video. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about shiny things here on YouTube. And we've got some very cool shiny things to talk about as we go. So any financial decisions that you make are yours and yours alone. So, price fluctuations, roller coaster rides that are silver and gold prices. It's a fun old time right now. There is no doubting it. We've seen some nice gains in the last couple of months of silver and gold, and then kind of capped it all last week with a really nice big rise in silver up to around the $19 an ounce mark, but then it crashed back down to $18 an ounce very quickly. So there is no doubting that the silver market specifically is very volatile. And there are a lot of people out there who are going to be new to silver right now and are going to be seeing this huge meteoric rise in the last 3 months as an indicator that it's going to go even further. Now, the first thing that I always want to put out here on these videos is the reasons for buying silver. This is the first kind of tip, hint, trick that one can employ to help mitigate to a certain extent these price fluctuations and variations and roller coaster rides. Make sure that you buy the silver for the right reasons. Silver is not a get-rich-quick scheme. If you've started to hear about silver on the local news, or you've started to see a lot more videos here on YouTube, be very careful. There are a lot of videos out there, a lot of news articles, a lot of opinions out there that will say that silver is going to shoot the moon, it's going to make people millionaires and all of this jazz. That is just not likely. Silver is a hedge. It's an inflation-busting insurance tool, basically. That's the way I look at it. But it is undoubtedly the volatility of silver. I'm not going to deny it. It allows opportunity for short-term investment gains, and it allows for people to purchase silver at a cheap price, see that price increase over time, and then you can sell it and make a profit. That is undoubtedly true. But that is a very difficult thing to do. Now, a lot of people do it, and I'm not begrudging them at all, but it takes an awful lot of energy, effort. It's not easy. So if you're in the market for that, you need to understand that that is going to be a lot of hard graft. But if you're not in the market for that, if you are more concerned about having a physical asset that is protecting your wealth, that is going to preserve that wealth throughout time, then silver is a great choice. That said, there are these fluctuations that happen during a week, and that can cause quite a lot of anguish for both beginners and seasoned stackers alike. And I know that, I made a video a couple of weeks ago where I was talking about silver prices and how I don't really pay attention to them. As soon as I've made the decision to purchase some silver or purchase some gold, I go ahead and I pull that trigger. I don't sit there and I don't watch the price fluctuate during the day. I don't have everything in the basket and seeing what price it is at 12 o'clock, what price it is at 12:05, and so on. I just purchase it. And that is another piece of that's a really good tip, I think, is just once you've made that decision, just live with it, go with it, embrace it, purchase it. Researching the best place to buy that silver is a really great tip as well that I would always recommend. There's loads of different options out there in terms of where to buy. It depends on the kind of item you're buying as well, and that's really very important. So let's start there. The type of silver is very, very key. If you are looking to just cash in on those spot price metals only, and you're looking to buy it $18 an ounce and sell it $20 an ounce, make $2 an ounce profit, then as cheap to spot price as possible is probably the right thing for you. You want to make sure that you're getting as much silver for as cheap a price as possible. That allows you to then cash in on those price fluctuations that might happen. That's more of a, that can be a short-term thing. For us in the UK, that's pretty much impossible to do because of the various taxes that are in the European Union for silver generally. Even if you buy from Europe with VAT-free silver, there's always going to be at least a 15-20% hike on the precious metal price, which is pretty much a killer for any short-term investments. Unless you take the time to do that hard graft selling, that hustle selling on the side at the other end, perhaps through eBay or social media or wherever it may be. So that's definitely something to factor in. Personally, my favorite type of silver to buy is going to be something like these Oriental Border Britannias. So these are kind of in the middle between high premium silver items and those cheap generic silver items. They, in my opinion, form a pretty good protection against the kind of spot price variations that we'll see, because yes, they will have, the spot price carrying up with them as the price goes up or down, but they've also got a bit of a collector's value to them. They've got a bit of a numismatic value. I suppose numismatic's the wrong word, really. They've got a little bit of a kind of collector's vibe to them. So if these become the next big thing, they're going to have a big price increase. So even if silver prices go down, the premium on these might go up, which of course mitigates those price fluctuations and variations. So that's definitely something to factor in about that. You can of course go the full hog and go for a lot more higher premium items. So I have got a little bit of mix of everything. I guess that's another thing to say as well. Having a diversification or diversifying your stack is really important. Having a little bit of everything in there helps protect everything. And this roll of 20 Tiger and I think they were Tiger and Dragon from the Perth Mint. These are pretty premium pieces of silver. I think at the time I bought them, spot price was around £12 an ounce, and they were £21-22 an ounce each. So, they're pretty expensive stuff, but they've held their premium really well. And, these are going for 25, 26, even £27 an ounce, depending on where you sell them and how. So you can see that they've really held that premium value. And if silver prices had gone down, then there's still a good potential for them to hold their value or even increase further in value from when you purchase them. So that's definitely something to factor into your decision making. Now, in terms of when to purchase and when to pull the triggers, I have found over this last couple of years, the best time, in my opinion, to buy any kind of silver, or gold in fact, is on the weekend. That said, I do buy during the week. If there's something that's out there that I really want, like the second-hand piece of gold on Atkinson's Bullion or something, I will pull that trigger straight away, simply because it might not be there by the time the weekend comes along. But for those who don't know, metal prices on the weekends are static. So if you're on a dealer's website on the weekend, those prices won't fluctuate. They will be static. You can take the time, which is the most important thing about that weekend message here. The time that you're allowed to sit back and reflect on, is this right for me? Are these coins right for me? If you're sitting there obsessing about the silver price during that week and seeing it go up, go down, and you're umming and ahhing about it, or you're not sure, or you perhaps earlier last week when it was around $18.50 an ounce, and then it started to slowly go up, and then faster and faster and faster, you're thinking, oh God, I need to buy it now, otherwise it's going to be $20 an ounce before I know it. You rush into things, and that's not necessarily the right idea. You can make mistakes when purchasing. You could make, buy too many of something or too few of something or whatever it might be. So the time that it allows you on the weekend is really, really important, and that is a very, very good thing. In terms of, buying, it's my opinion, just do it. If you want to do it, do it. Don't live with regrets. But living with regrets is easier said than done. And I have seen, and there's a couple of really great examples. There's one on the Silver Forum of a chap who bought a whole bunch of gold, and he got cold feet. He bought his gold for about $9.50 an ounce. He got cold feet when it dipped down to about $900 an ounce. And I'm sure he's probably not watching this video, but if he is, he might be kicking himself in the teeth right now, because a lot of the coins that he had were ones like this, which were the Queen's Beast coins, and they've of course grown in huge premium, but not only that, in spot price value as well. And the message here is, once you've made that decision, once you've purchased the gold or the silver, keep hold of it, enjoy it, and basically don't live with regrets. That's one of the hardest things to do in life, I know, and it's a very hard thing, or it's a very easy thing for me to say, is if you've got financial security and you're not beholden to the fiat that's locked up in your precious metals, that's the best situation. For me, And for our situation here, we have a very strict budget for precious metals for our own investment stack, and even for my own business. We've got business plans and everything, and it's really important to stick to those. If you are forced to sell your silver or gold early, you will take a loss, unless you are right now and you bought it 3 years ago. But the point is, if you are forced to sell at a time which is not opportune to you, you are most likely going to make a loss. And that is the hardest thing to deal with. So, as I said earlier in the video, precious metal stackers, silver stackers, gold stackers, we're a funny bunch because we are very hard to please. I know that I love and hate it when silver prices go up. So there's part of me which absolutely loves it because, of course, on paper, your assets have grown in value, which is fantastic. And you look at the ounceage that you've got and you think, gosh, £2-3 an ounce in silver or £250 an ounce in gold, that's fantastic. A lot of money has been made. But remember, no money has been made until you actually sell those items. That's a really important thing. That's probably the key thing here is, if you are looking at this right now, you've bought last week, you've bought at $19 an ounce, you bought a load of silver and it's now $18 an ounce and you've lost a load of money. You haven't lost anything until you sell it. Don't have cold feet. Have faith, hold it for the long term. Silver is best over the longer term. It is volatile. If the volatility really is a big barrier to your reasons for buying and you are not keen on the volatility of it, then my last my last tip to you would be just ignore silver. And I know a lot of you will not like me saying that because you love silver and you think it's got a lot more potential than gold, but there is no doubting that gold is a lot more stable than silver. It still has its volatility, don't get me wrong, but in terms of that long-term stable investment, it's always been that safe haven asset. Silver is a lot more volatile. It has its pluses and its minuses as a volatile metal, but this yellow shiny stuff is just so much better in my opinion. If you are somebody who is not a risk taker and you don't like the potential for this stuff to lose a lot of value very quickly, then perhaps gold is something for you to look at. So that's my thoughts and tips and hints and tricks for dealing with that kind of thing. The last thing that I want to talk on is around sort of the mental health side of things. I don't talk a lot about mental health here on the channel, but when I do, I always try and excuse me, to put a kind of personal spin on it. I used to be a very obsessive type person. I used to always focus on a lot of the negatives in the world and in life. I was very much a pessimist. And once you get out of that mindset, once you try and break that mindset, break the mold and look at things in that longer term, look at them in the bigger picture. Yes, you may well have bought some silver and then on paper it's been lost or it's lost some value in the last couple of weeks. That can be very downheartening. But just remember that in the bigger picture of things, it's not the end of the world. Buy responsibly, act responsibly, and have a good outlook on how things might go for you personally. I think that's really important. Of course, it's easier said than done, and if there is anybody out there who really struggles with these type of things, talk about it. That is the most important thing. Mrs. Backyard Bullion and I are so much better at talking about these kind of things than we used to be, and even around precious metal prices. And it can go both ways. When you're looking at the markets going up, we've got very interesting decisions to look at and take in the next couple of months regarding Brexit, regarding prices going up for our business. And the raw metal prices going up has a huge impact on the base prices for our items that we sell, and that will have an impact, of course, on sales. Prices going up perhaps leads to sales going down, but there's always silver linings to things. I feel like things are good right now for us here in the Backyard Bullion household with regards our investment positions within silver, within gold, within the business. And that's, I think, the most important thing. Make sure that what you are doing makes you happy. If you're sitting there stressing, losing hair, worrying constantly about the silver prices, perhaps it is the right time to stop buying silver or to move your position into gold or to change your attitudes towards things. One of the best quotes and mantras by which I live my life is, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. So if you change the way that you view silver, you'll see it in a whole new light, and it will just be a different mentality for you. I guess we're going quite deep here at the end of this video, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. If you enjoyed today's video, please put a thumbs up on it and share it around on your social media. I'd also love to know your thoughts and opinions. This tiger roll is not going to stay ball, is it? There we go. If you would like to share your thoughts and opinions on this subject, how you cope with the price fluctuations, how you buy your silver as well to help mitigate those, then let us know. I mean, this topic is endless. I haven't even talked about waiting at different times of the year, because there are different fluctuations throughout the year that are a lot more sort of regular in terms of patterns than you might think. There's a whole host of different tactics out there. Not everybody is going to agree with my opinion or everybody else's opinion. So if you are going to comment, please do so respectfully down in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more like this in the future, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and hit the alarm bell if you'd like to get a notification when we upload videos. Otherwise, that is all I have to say. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic week. And as always, please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.